Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon. Excuse me, for March 11th, 2023, with your host, Space Biker 2448, and Ramp at Salon.
Hi.
It is certainly a week of presentations where only one of the presentations had anything of value. I also didn't put in the level 5 one, but there wasn't anything in the level 5 one I was interested in besides the one game we've already seen. I'm like, well, if they didn't say anything more about it, I'm just not going to put it in here.
Fair.
So yeah, we got a Pokemon Presents. We'll talk about that at the end, amongst other things and stuff. But first, Tyler, what have you been playing the last couple weeks?
Not really a whole lot. Obviously, as I said yesterday, I attempted to do some page videos, but kept getting I kept getting met with crashes about an hour in.
So, not great.
I mean,
But
outside of that,
better?
not really much else.
No.
Because I mean, the thing I'm been trying to record for PBS is about the only.
Yeah, I need to sit down and record the one thing I was gonna do for that. Or at least start recording that, because it's gonna take like 5 sessions, at least. Probably 6. So I'll probably fuck up and have to do 6 to 7. Just depends.
We're
at. I have gotten back to Midnight Suns because they fixed the soft lock in that game that I ran into. I find it weird that for promotion in that game, they were talking about how you can do your friendships with all the different Marvel characters, and you won't be able to do everybody in a run. And I don't know if there's just some time gate or some time limit that the game's not telling me about, but I feel like I could just get that without having to worry about it. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Because I've more or less ran out of things to research at this point. Unless I pick up the DLC. And I think I'm halfway through the game. It feels weird. I'm not really sure where I'm at in the game. Because I've just recruited Scarlet Witch, which, she's AFK as a villain for most of my playtime so far. So I'm like, oh, I just got her, so I can play with her now. Hooray! And that's the full roster, I believe. But yeah, the game's still good. It just feels like, wow, coming off XCOM, where I feel like I have no time limit and I can just keep playing as long as I want. Well, I certainly feel like just maxing out everyone's friendship. Even though I think I've reached the max team friendship, maybe? No. I know I maxed out the thing I've gotten all the power words to unlock all the stuff in the Abbeys, which means the chest that you get all these extra cosmetics and other stuff in, 2 of the 4 rarities of the chest are free for me to unlock. Only 2 rarities of chests require me to have keys on me to unlock them. And they are 1 key apiece. And I stockpiled up to, I think, 8. From different unlocks and stuff. So it's like, oh, so I could just keep unlocking chests however I feel, because I literally just I could just keep unlocking them because I have all of the resources. Besides that, I tried out more Teppen. I'm still figuring out the game. I've got a Amaterasu deck from Okami, because that seems to be what I can really work with in terms of my deck, because of the extra cards and stuff I've done from polls. because Amaterasu, her gimmick for her deck is that cards that level up get better stuff when they level up, which means if you like play a card, its play cost is like experience to the other cards that can level up. Essentially, there's a lot of weird mechanics in this game that I feel like I need to go through all the tutorials to really understand how all of it fucking works. I am sad that I can't play as Phoenix Wright, technically. I have to play as Chun-Li with a skin of Phoenix Wright on top of. If I want to play as Phoenix Wright. Let's see, besides that, my Brave Hero speedruns on stream. I destroyed my double times and got better at 0-1. Like, destroyed my double times hard enough that they're now my records over top of all my 0-1 runs. I think I'm definitively in third place for all of double if I wanted to submit. Which more or less puts me behind the two actual speedrunners of this game that came in and wiped our records. Which honestly makes sense. I don't think I'll ever be able to beat their times. And then RE4 demo, which we'll talk about later, so then we'll have something to talk about with the Capcom Direct, because there wasn't much else to talk about from the Capcom Direct. So shall we get to the news then?
I guess.
So, you know how Crackdown Squad had its trailer showcase and nobody seemed to like it?
Yeah.
So apparently it's now been delayed to later this year. And I think I've even seen further, like at least one report say next year, which I'm like, damn. That's a big ass delay. But also, like, how much did Gotham Knights not do well play into this game being delayed? And also, how much did Gotham Knights in development play into this game as well? Because they are from the two different Arkham devs, and they are both under WB. So there had to be communication that you're both doing a live service DC game. But yeah, it is delayed. Are you excited?
Eh.
Fair. I'm not either. And speaking of delays, Starfield has been delayed again. It is now coming out in September, but we will get a Starfield Direct on June 11th. That will give us a deep dive into the game. Hooray! Are you excited for Starfield at all?
Not really, honestly.
Fair. There's one thing about that game that interests me, and that's like the ship customization, because it's more or less giving you a bunch of cubes and stuff that you can mash together to make your ship. And I'm like, that seems cool and interesting, and that has me interested. Everything else about this is like, this is a Fallout game. This is just a Fallout game. Nothing else here is really distinguish it from Fallout. You know, that other thing you do. So, I mean, I'll get to play it because it's on Game Pass. Assuming I still have Game Pass in September, but hey, that's neat. Capcom Direct. You know all that stuff we've been talking about with Capcom for the last like several months?
Uh-huh.
It's all that stuff. It's a recap of all that stuff. There was one new thing here, and Twitch accidentally spoiled it by running commercials too early.
I mean, that tracks.
Because the Battle Network Legacy Collection just had confirmations that all of the e-reader card content is coming to its collection. You'll be able to load in, or they'll have all I believe it's 499 e-reader cards that ever came out for, I think it's like 5, 6, and 7 for Battle Network. And you'll be able to load in all of those cards into the games. So all of that content's there. So it's more or less content complete, I think, of the legacy of the Battle Network games. Well, the 7 of those. Also, Mega Man NT Warrior, the first 2 seasons of that in English, will be streaming starting March 21st on Capcom's YouTube. So, hooray! Nothing new for Street Fighter 6. Besides, hey, a new color commentary person to do commentary for you when you play the game. Also, recap of the competitive stuff where they're giving away $1 million to the winner of one of their events. Exoprimal is getting another open beta March 17th, and it's fully coming out July 14th. It will also be on Game Pass, so hooray. It also has a season pass, so if you don't like season passes, I've got bad news for you. Ghost Trick's coming out June 30th. It has a completely new rearranged version of the soundtrack. You can swap between the original and the new version. And I believe if you pre-order the game, you get 2 bonus tracks. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak is finally coming to Xbox and PlayStation April 28th.
Few months off on that one.
Yeah. Another look at Resident Evil Death Island, which is the new Resident Evil CG movie. And lastly, the new information, there is a chainsaw demo out for RE4 Remake. It is the exact same demo. Well, it is a new version of the exact same demo that came out for the original RE4. So you get to play, because I played it on stream Thursday, you get to play more or less the opening little bit of the game into the village segment where all the villagers kind of swarm you and you're trying to fight them all off, including Chainsaw Man. Not that Chainsaw Man.
No, not Chainsaw Man, other Chainsaw Man.
Yes, not the anime. But now you can sneak around the start of the village segment, and once you get alerted, then you start having to deal with all of them swarming you. So it's kind of, you get to kind of prep for the swarm going in. It is very much RE4. I think it's a little bit looser than RE4. It's not as tight feeling as RE4, and I think it's because it's not tank controls. It's a bit more... the best way I can put it, it is RE4 brought up to modern standards in terms of gameplay. And visually, it looks really good. There's 1,001 customization options for graphics. That also has a little series of checkboxes down in the corner that tells you exactly what each thing you're turning on and off affects performance-wise and how much memory each of those things is using. And you have gauges as well to show, this is using a ton of memory, this is using a small amount of memory. So you can really, fine-tune it by those checkboxes if you don't understand what any of this shit's doing to, get the best performing version of RE4 Remake you can on your system. It also helps that if you're worried about a port of the PC port of this, it's running on RE Engine, which runs really good on PC. Because Monster Hunter was running on it. And I have streamed that 1,001 times, and as you can see, that thing runs beautifully. And I think everything else that's an RE engine runs well on PC, so there's no worry about PC port being bad. I'm gonna eat those words when it turns out to not be the case, but I shouldn't.
You're gonna eat those words when the PC port actually ends up having problems.
Well, if it happens, it'll be content for the stream.
Fair.
But that's pretty much it for the Capcom Direct. Any thoughts on it?
You know, it was a Capcom Direct.
Fair enough. I'm excited for Ghost Trick, and I will probably either stream Ghost Trick or do Ghost Trick for TBS, one of the two, because I've wanted to play Ghost Trick forever, and hey, I get to play a non-emulated version of it now. Hooray! That looks really fucking good. I cannot overstate how much they've let this game look really good from the DS version of this game. Just a reminder, this was a DS title. And it looks amazing that they've cleaned up the game that much. But just before the Capcom Direct, the final trailer for the Mario Brothers movie came out. Have you gotten to see it yet?
The Super Mario Brothers Direct.
Yep. Because they did a little bit of preamble with the actors and stuff. Also, Mario shoes are going to be on display at the Nintendo store in New York because reasons.
Because it's him, Mario.
Yeah. Have you gotten to check out the final trailer?
I've not gotten to actually see the full trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I did watch the breakdown of the trailer, though, so I at least know some of it.
Oh, New Rockstars did?
Yep.
Okay. I have not watched their breakdown. Because I'm like, I don't... What are they going to tell me that I haven't noticed in this trailer?
I mean, fair.
I'm going to be honest, it's not going to be anything. Also, I can't wait for them to do a speculation thing that is entirely wrong. But I guess some of the highlights, we have a Luma that's been captured by Bowser and is a bit down on life in a very happy way. So I guess I'm trying to remember what the Luma toy was that we saw a couple months back. That was at I think it was McDonald's, because we knew a Luma was in the movie because there was a toy for it from somewhere. But this is our first confirmation of the said Luma, which has implications, I guess. Because, like, if there's a Luma, where is Rosalina in all this?
You know what would immensely be funny, though?
What?
If the Luma's just meant to be in it.
I would think so, but it has a voiced role.
And?
True. I'm just like, they wouldn't put a voiced Luma in here for nothing, would they?
Sequel?
But, like, I'm sure. Also, Chunky's in here. For those of you who like Chunky from Donkey Kong 64, he's in. We see another shot of like the crowd from the fight between Mario and DK. Chunky is back there. Also, Fire Donkey Kong with the Fire Flower.
Yeah.
Which
doesn't exist, technically. But looks really good. And now I kind of want it to actually exist.
I think they're pulling it from the red reskin of Donkey Kong from Smash Brothers.
Probably, but it's still being modified, though.
Right, because it has like a white
tips.
tie. Yeah.
It's one of those I'm like, I kind of actually want to see that now.
Yeah.
It would kind of be nice if we had another game like 3D World,
Mm-hmm.
but actually have Donkey Kong as a playable character. Instead of, it being a Todd.
Yeah. I'm trying to pull up color palette.
Because I think
I'm
that
pretty...
is a similar red to the red in Smash.
It is not a red in Ultimate, because I looked at the Ultimate once and he doesn't have a red that bright in Ultimate. I'm pretty sure. I'll double check real quick. No, he doesn't really have a red one. Not that bright of red, at least. I must be thinking of different. Smash. No. Am I just thinking old Yieldy? Yep, it's Yieldy in 64 Smash is what I'm thinking.
I thought he had a red in one of the others also, though.
He does, but this bright of a red, not quite. Because
Of course, I mean, either way, they are pulling literally from everything pertaining to Mario.
Yep.
There hasn't been anything in a trailer, but it wouldn't surprise me if they're not doing some kind of a board game kind of thing.
Oh, God. Yeah. Also, that put in the Discord chat. The red from 64 Smash very much is that red. His red from all the other ones is toned down. But still, the white tie, white tips, the fact he has, you've given Donkey Kong fireballs. I'm just like, oh God, this is reminding me that, I forget who does it that I follow on Twitter, but someone does, if the Fierce Deity mask was an item in Smash, so doing all of the different characters in Smash as like a Fierce Deity version of them. Some of them are really good.
If I was wanting to commit to a horrible joke, I would be like, I bet Link looks really awesome in it.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for the trailer. It comes out 2 days earlier now than from its original release date. Now it's in theaters April 5th. I will probably bother to actually go watch this in theaters, because I haven't been to a theater in before the pandemic, to put it lightly. I feel like this and Shin Kamen Rider, if we get an official US release for Shin Kamen Rider, are going to be the only things that are going to drag me to a theater at this point.
Yeah, no. No, for me.
Fair enough.
I'll catch it when I can watch it.
Via some streaming of some kind.
Via preferably some sort of third party kind of concept.
Non yar hard me hardy hard means. I just refer to it as yar hard me hardy har.
Granted, I mean, if it's good enough to warrant me watching it more than once, then yeah, I would suffice the first time to watching some kind of pirated form.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would at least give it a watch through legit me.
And also, speaking of Mario, so the new Mario Kart 8 Deluxe wave of DLC came out, and it threw a curveball at people, more so than it already was doing by adding in Birdo. There is now 5 character slots on the character selection screen. So we're getting more characters.
And for anyone thinking, oh no, they just had to do that to make it a square. No. Go back and look at Mario Kart 8 when they did the DLC characters. They did this exact same thing.
Yep. I don't think there's any data mine on who at the moment.
There's probably not, for the simple fact of it being DLC stuff. It might be a case of it is generic placeholders at the moment.
True, except Fire Emblem, all of its DLC was leaked because all of the names were in there already.
I mean, fair. But I'm sure Nintendo learned from that.
We'll see.
These are probably labeled like DLC character 1 through 6 kind of deal.
Well, so I have a list of characters that were data mined. Also, it's more than 5.
But that doesn't mean they're going to pull the trigger on all.
Right. Here is the list for those curious. King Babam, PD Piranha, Hammer Bro, Chargin' Chuck, Monty Mole, Diddy Kong, Dixie Kong, Funky Kong, SNES Mario, Kamek, Pauline, and Nabbit.
The list in Discord. Because I'm trying to think here. Because I think we full on see the pattern actually.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would it be that a lot of these characters are already in Mario Kart Tour?
Nope.
Oh.
I'm pretty much right on that. On my thought here.
Mm-hmm.
We had a stage that correlated with Birdo in this pack.
Ah.
We're gonna get stages correlating to some of those characters as we're going.
So
I say some of those because Monty Mole might be an exception.
Mm-hmm.
Since we do have quite a few courses that have the molehills in them.
And Diddy, Dixie, and Funky are probably going to share one because they're all Kongs.
Yep. And chances are SNES Mario and Kamek probably will because of their 2D.
Yeah, it'll probably be some SNES track of some kind.
Whereas more than likely King Babam and PD Piranha is probably going to share some kind of track.
We don't have a New Donk City track, do we?
Nope.
You know, part of me is surprised by that, but I'm looking at this list and it's like, Pauline as a racer, and I'm just like, that's how they also do that. They put in New Donks. You think they put in the Kongs with New Donk City and not just a new Donkey Kong track?
Yep. It would tie all 4 characters nice and neat.
True.
And there's so many references in New Donk City, in Odyssey, that they could pull that off. Nabbit and the... Really, I'll go ahead and count Monty Mole into it. But Nabbit, Hammer Bro, Charging Chuck, and Monty Mole probably going to be the question mark ones. Because they span so many games. Granted, it could be possible that Hammer Bro and Monty Mole might share with the NES Mario and Kamek kind of deal. Because we've got what? 2 or 3 more DLCs left?
One second. Also, apparently this list is not accurate.
Sounds
It is
about right.
out of date. It's out of date.
Sounds about right.
Because it should be 4 more characters and not the list we have. Four. We have Feather Cup, Cherry Cup, Acorn Cup, Spiny Cup.
But aren't they doing 2 cups per DLC?
1 cup per DLC. Or no, nope, it is 2. Never mind.
Uh-huh.
My bad. It's 2 per release.
Because I was gonna say, otherwise, how the heck did we have 3 DLCs with 6 cups?
Never mind. It's 2 per.
So we've only got 2 left. So that list has to be a little too, you know. I'd say the 5s probably would have got pared down too. I feel like Diddy and Funky are probably gonna be a definite in. But that's really the only 2 definites that I feel like they're.
And there's a lot of cross sections with like who's in tour and who's been playable in a Mario Kart game before, and this, that, and the other. Since a lot of these characters that I've listed off are playable in tour, which is probably where this list started from.
Well, I mean, taking a look at that, literally Funky, Diddy, and Petey Piranha all have had past Mario Kart games and tour.
Yeah.
So it's probably a good bet that those 3 are going to be 3 of the 5. The question is going to be who else. Because I'm willing to bet as big of a push as they had with Tour on the first half of the DLCs, they're probably going to pull assets from Tour more so than anything else. So it's probably going to be a case of who is in Tour that has also been in previous Mario Kart games. And they're more than likely going to be the ones to fill this in.
I'm just surprised. It's just like, yeah, we're gonna put in characters now, and I'm like, you've doubled the size of the game in terms of tracks, and now you're just gonna add in characters.
Well, I mean, they got to get that nice perfect square.
What's next? You're just gonna announce another entire booster course?
Probably.
Good lord.
Because we can't have Mario Kart 9.
Yeah. Because I saw that brought up by someone I follow.
Because have you not noticed what has happened? We got Mario Kart 8. We got Mario Kart 8.1. Now we've got Mario Kart 8.5.
Now we need Mario Kart 8.9.
Final mix.
Yep.
Yes, for those that didn't catch that before I got to that point. Yes, that is exactly what they are doing. Let's rehash the same thing over and over and never give people a new.
Mm-hmm. Because that's I guess the conversation we had with Smash at this point of just like, what do you do with Smash? Because like you can't repeat this roster with Smash, and you're not going to repeat like all these tracks in a new game. It has to go down. But if it's going to go down in terms of like the size of this content, what do you do to make up the difference?
Okay, I'm gonna throw this one out there. Does it necessarily have to go down, or does it at least have to start at this same point as 8 started? Because bear in
Like,
mind, yes, Deluxe is its own standalone game, but truthfully, the DLCs we're getting for Deluxe, they're technically DLCs for the DLC that was for 8. So we
yeah.
have to look at that as its core.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was, what, 48 tracks?
I believe so.
So they could probably push it and do 60 tracks for a new one.
Mm-hmm.
And quite frankly, if they don't do a whole lot of changing to the engine and everything like they're probably not gonna do, pretty much can just take some of the tracks that they're making for 8 right now and add to it. We did kind of have half of the original tracks literally being throwback tracks. The other thing you have to think about, they did it intentionally with 8. I almost feel like this is their just long-term Mario Kart. Yes, I know that's what Tour was supposed to be, but I feel like this is their console side for them.
Mm-hmm.
And truthfully, like I just said, there's no real reason for them to upgrade engine or the graphics or anything like that. This is probably one of the best Mario Kart games we've had graphically and functionally probably for a while.
Yeah.
It's one of those I'm like, if we don't get a 9, I'm fine with that. But at the same time, a concise package would be nice too.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they said, okay, we're gonna do a repackage of the game that's gonna have all the DLCs kind of. Just some way where people don't have to shell out crap tons of money and or be subscribed to play the stuff kind of deal.
Yeah. All right. Shall we talk the Pokemon Presents then?
I guess we shall.
Well, most of this is going to be stuff where we've got nothing on, to be honest. Because we start off with, hey, the Pokemon World Championships is happening. Hooray!
Hey, cool.
What they're calling a classic set of Pokemon trading cards is coming out as like a standalone release. That
Yay.
none of these cards are tournament legal. So it's like a fancy, like a version of like the original trading card game cards in like a box and all that. I don't understand it. I'm gonna be honest. Pokemon Concierge is a Netflix series that is stop motion animated that is going to focus on a Pokemon hotel that Pokemon hang out in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. That's all we got. There's a teaser, but it's nothing. I like the stop motion. I'll probably give it a watch. Zaxian is heading to Pokemon tonight, and there's some events and stuff going on there. Cafe Remix is getting some Scarlet and Violet content with the starters, and Great Chef Greninja, amongst other stuff. And then Master ZX is getting Leon with his Charizard, and some other stuff. And that's your mobile update, and we're moving on. Pokemon.
I kind of would like to get back into you. To be fair.
Yeah. I'm just reminded of that in like Ninjala all the time. Of just like, I haven't played those games forever, but yet have no desire to go back.
Unite was actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
That's one of those, for it to be a blatant League of Legends clone, it's actually kind of fun. Granted, it helps when your source material is also fun too, so...
Yeah. Pokemon Sleep lives! It is not canceled and it comes out later this year. So, essentially, you pick your sleeping Pokemon, you sleep next to your phone, and then you catch Pokemon according to how well you slept. And they're releasing the Pokemon Go Plus Plus that has Pikachu noises, and that you can sleep next to that instead of your phone to do Pokemon sleep stuff. And that's it. That's the video game. You're also gonna get a special Snorlax with a little like cap and stuff in Pokemon Go. Yay! Are you excited to sleep with Pokemon? And not that way.
It sounds very wrong saying it that way.
Yep. Someone's gotta make the joke.
Yep.
But are you excited or at all interested in this video game?
No.
Fair. I'm also like, this certainly exists and I don't care. But yeah, the Pokemon Go Plus Plus is also going to come out July 14th. Pre-orders are up for it. I guess that's when Sleep's going to come out relatively soon. Hooray. Pokemon Go has connections to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And not the way you hoped. And oh boy, is there consequences for it. So you can send your postcards that you get from other players into Scarlet and Violet, and that can change the region or the variants of the Vivons for you to catch. So you can essentially catch all of the different Vivons. There's one problem. Oh, and also you can catch... once they have been catched, you have the chance to catch the roaming version of Grimmagool. And eventually you'll be able to send that to Scarlet and Violet once they do home integration, which is not currently set at the moment. But guess what happened with the Pokemon postcards in the Pavilions?
What?
So apparently there can be a glitch that happens, and it's affected... apparently it's affected a small number of people. It's affected them nonetheless. That has corrupted their save files. Apparently, if you sent a card and you have tried to catch the Pavilions, and it has corrupted your saves. Again, it's a small number of people. There doesn't seem to be any other consistency to this thing, but it has made me very afraid to boot up my version of the game because I sent a single postcard to catch the Roman Gimmergul and go, and that was it. And I have not booted up Scarlet and Violet since finding out that information, or Pokemon Scarlet, to find out if my save is corrupted or not, because I would like to not find out. Especially not till Home's integration happens. Or they fix this.
I'm just...
Mm-hmm.
I'm just at the point where I'm like, is anyone surprised by this? We literally have the worst box system ever come into Scarlet and Violet because it is not optimized at all.
I mean, the game's not optimized in general, so...
And then we expect when they add stuff in, it not to break? Seriously?
Well, also, you know, the two new raids we got, the Walking Lake and the Iron Leaves Paradox variants of Suicune and Pavilion? Or not Pavilion. Apparently some people that have caught them have accidentally caught eggs.
My point. Exactly.
They've put in an update that it's going to allow people to actually catch these Pokemon that ended up catching eggs at a later date. But yeah, some people ended up catching eggs instead of, you know, these two Pokemon. After dealing with a raid system that is, to be honest, not as good as the one that is in Sword and Shield, mainly because it is not well optimized, because the game is not well optimized. So does all this information make you excited for the DLC that's coming out later this year for Scarlet and Violet? Fair enough. Because they announced more or less the two-part DLC called the Hidden Treasure of Area Zero. One is going to release in the fall, the other is going to release in the winter. The first one, the Teal Mask. And since Destructoid doesn't have the information, I have to go pull up Cerebee's information on this. So the Teal Mask has a focus on a festival that you'll be attending. We see the player characters in some festival garb. We see in the key art, not that key art, where's the key art in the trailer? We see lanterns with all the different Pokemon types, and then we see our 4 new Pokemon for this DLC. We've got Monkey Dory, a new monkey Pokemon. We have Okidogi, new dog Pokemon. Pheasantipity, a new pheasant Pokemon. And Orangapon, our main Pokemon for this DLC. If you've noticed, this is the Momotaro story because we have the monkey, or the dog, or the monkey, the dog, the pheasant, and then the person. The second part is called the Indigo Disc. We'll be going into a not 8th Air Foundation research facility in the ocean. And we'll be encountering Terrapagos, a new turtle friend Pokemon that has all the different Pokemon types on it and possibly has connections to the terrestrializing phenomenon, apparently. So, what do you think of the DLC besides the fact of Game Freak? You might want to fix the game first before asking any of us to pre-order this DLC.
Yeah, I'm not.
I mean, same. I just Scarlet and Violet are not in a good place performance-wise and game-wise for me to want to do this. Hell, they've not even bothered to say, "Hey, here's home integration," and I'm like, I would like to know when home integration is going to fucking happen first before we even talk about DLC. If I'm being honest.
Home integration will happen when they get the game more stable?
So after all the DLC happens.
AKA never.
Yeah. uh, so yeah, that is the Pokemon Presents. How do you feel overall?
Eh.
Fair. Pokemon Sleep coming back from the dead makes me go, oh right, we're supposed to get 6 Pikachu on Switch, and we're supposed to get a sequel to that game also on Switch at some point, right? Did they cancel those? Because I don't think they have. Because they sure are making a sequel to the movie, because that's still in production. I think pre-production at least. Yeah, that's a Pokemon Presents, folks, and that's all our news for the week. So, shall we talk releases?
I guess.
All right, we're gonna kick off on these show to the 14th with Hot Wheels Rift Rally, and I forgot to mention that I've been playing that Hot Wheels game that came out a while back, since it's on Game Pass. Hot Wheels Unleashed. It has scratched the itch for Burnout that I didn't realize I really had until I started playing the game, and it was like, because Ty reminded me it was on Game Pass because he did it for one of his streams looking at Game Pass games. So I installed it and played it, and I was like, this feels like a Burnout game, because it's just hey, you've got boost. You've got boost, use boost. Why are you not using boost? Here's more boost. Boost! If you want to drift, just hit a button and just turn, and we'll drift it for you. Just don't be going fast enough if you hit the wall. If not, well, you got boost to get back up to speed. It's very fun. And it's also like the complete edition of the game, so it comes with like practically it's an entire swath of DLC. So you get Batman cars, Looney Tunes cars, other cars as well. But yeah, it's good. On the 15th, Sifu Vengeance Edition for Xbox One and Series X. 2 Point Campus School Spirits for Xbox One, Series X, PlayStation 4, 5, and Switch. On the 16th,
Whole lot of Switch stuff.
yeah. Loot Box Simulator Heroes of the Dark Age for Switch. Tanky Tank 2s, or Tanky Tanks 2 for the Switch. The Dark Pictures Switchback VR for PlayStation 5. On the 17th, Bayonetta Origins Cereza and the Lost Demon for Switch. Peppa Pig World Adventures for Xbox One, Series X, PlayStation 4, 5, and Switch. And WWE 2K23 for Xbox One, Series X, PlayStation 4, and 5. Hopefully it's not incredibly busted and broken, like the last one was.
So it will be worse.
I don't think it was the last one. I think it was the one before that, but still. On the 20th, Animal Names for Switch. On the 21st, Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant's Kingdom Prince Edition for Xbox One. There's a Postal 4 No Regrets for PlayStation 4 and 5. There's a 4th Postal game? I thought they stopped making those. On the 22nd, Pac-Man in a tin as a dedicated console. On the 23rd, Sushi Bar Express for Switch. And lastly, on the 24th, Resident Evil 4 Remake for Xbox Series X, PlayStation 4, 5. Witchcrafty for Xbox One and Series X. I Dream of You and Ice Cream for Xbox One. I just saw that one. It is not a very exciting list, folks. I guess anything else?
No.
All right, then. Tomorrow, it's more Armada. Hooray!
At least we're on the home stretch.
Yeah, we are. It don't feel like it.
No,
Because I'm just like, okay, we have, what is it, including this week, 12 episodes left, right?
I think.
It's pretty much everything on Tubi that says it's season 4. Which should be 12 episodes. Yes, it says 12 episodes. Not a whole lot happens in these first 4 episodes. Which doesn't surprise me because that's pretty much Armada in general. But like, damn, for telling me every time an episode starts, it's like, we have entered the Unicron battles. The motherfucker hasn't showed up yet. Which makes me go, when does he show up? Does he show up in the last 4 episodes?
Probably.
Oh my god. Also, the minicons sure do a lot of shit that I'm just like, the fuck are you doing? What is happening? that was my thought in like the last like episode and a half. It was just like, what the fuck is happening? What is going on?
They are trying to stay relevant.
Well, I mean, in general with the show, I'm like, what the fuck is happening? What is going on? I don't understand. I feel like we have lost what little plot we had at this point.
Well, yeah, they dragged their feet too long. So sales started dipping, so have to do new thing. Also, they killed Prime off, so that means they have to revive him and do new thing.
They take 2 episodes to revive him in this batch.
Mm-hmm.
They don't revive him until the end of the 2nd episode. I'm just gonna tell you that now.
Doesn't surprise me.
And I don't know how they revived him. They just did.
They revived him through friendship.
Nope.
I'm just gonna say that's good enough.
That's not what happened, I'm pretty sure. But also, I don't know what happened either. So yeah, Armada will be fun to talk about tomorrow. But next Thursday, I'm gonna do O speed runs for Memory of Heroes because I've done the other 2 main writers. I might as well do the 3rd one while we wait for RE4 remake to come out so I can stream that.
I mean,
I'm to hope we get information on the preload and release date of, or release time of RE4 remake before Thursday, so we can figure out if we need to do some swap around stuff for the Thursday and Friday streams. And then Friday. Yeah. And then Saturday is going to be a thing.
Yep.
Pretty much.
A different thing.
Yep. And then next Sunday will be the penultimate look at Armada. Thank God it's almost over. I'm starting to remember why I think I've only cared about 2 Transformers shows. Well, no, 3 Transformers shows. And it's Beast Wars, Animated, and Prime. And even then, I'm just like, did I really like Prime? I think I like Prime. But yeah, that is the week ahead, folks. So if you like what you're seeing, drop a follow. I really appreciate it. Chipping away that affiliate goal at Teases and Twitter gets you updates on life. Next Mission Point Discord chat is this learning. Drop by, say hi. See you tomorrow, folks.